Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating case study. How exactly do you build an invisible velvet rope around a brand in one of the most intensely competitive markets on the planet? I'm talking about India's hair care industry. We're going to look at Kérastase, the ultra-luxury professional hair care brand owned by the L'Oreal Group, and we're unpacking the exact strategies they use to keep that premium VIP status totally intact.
So let's start by looking at a pretty stark market contrast. On one side of the ring, you've got your mass market giants, right? Brands like Pantene or Sunsilk. Their whole game plan is broad reach, literally getting onto every single grocery store and pharmacy shelf possible. But Kerastase, they are playing a completely different game. Their focus is laser-targeted on personalized, science-backed, salon-grade solutions. They absolutely do not want to be everywhere. They only want to be exactly where their premium consumer is looking.
Here is our agenda for today. 1. The Luxury Beauty Challenge. 2. Defining the Kérastase consumer. 3. The Luxury Marketing Mix. 4. Analyzing strengths and weaknesses. 5. The competitive landscape. And 6. Keys to future success.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the Luxury Beauty Challenge.
You know, the fundamental paradox of luxury is that scaling up usually destroys your exclusivity. It's a tough balance. So Kerastase's core objectives in India aren't just about pushing massive volume. Instead, they want to build a rock-solid luxury presence and really strengthen their partnerships with premium salons. Sure, they're expanding into luxury e-commerce, but they're being super careful about it. Most importantly, they are heavily promoting these expert, personalized consultations. It's not just about selling you a bottle of shampoo. It's about selling an exclusive experience to a highly affluent demographic. Moving right along to section 2, defining the Kerastase consumer. So, who actually gets past that velvet rope? Well, Kérastase positions itself as a luxury, professional hair care brand, offering personalized, science-backed solutions through premium salon expertise. What this means in practice is they provide highly customized, professional diagnoses instead of just a one-size-fits-all product. When a customer walks into one of their partner salons, they aren't just grabbing something off a rack. They're getting a bespoke prescription for their very specific hair and scalp needs. And what's really fascinating here is just how laser-focused their targeting is. Demographically, they're zeroing right in on men and women aged 25 to 50 in upper middle to high income brackets. Geographically, they aren't trying to capture every rural area. They are focused on major metropolitan hubs, places like Mumbai and Delhi, along with a few select Tier 2 cities that already have established premium salon networks. Behaviorally, these are consumers actively hunting for specialized treatments for issues like hair fall, scalp concerns, or color damage, and they're fully willing to drop premium cash to fix them.
Let's get into section 3, the luxury marketing mix.
Starting with the first P, product. Just notice the language here. They don't just sell shampoo and conditioner. No, they offer bonds, fondants, and masks. By using this elevated French terminology and pairing it with gorgeous luxury packaging, they turn a daily routine into an experience. They've got targeted ranges with scientifically formulated ingredients for specific profiles, like Genesis for hair fall, Nutritive for hydration, or Blonde Absolute for color care. Literally every single product is engineered as a specialized, high-performance solution.
But here's the golden question. How do you justify that premium price tag compared to standard drugstore brands? Well, Kérastase uses a premium pricing strategy supported entirely by its high perceived quality and professional salon exclusivity. The price itself actually acts like a filter, reinforcing that luxury image. When you pay this much, you're not just paying for the liquid inside the bottle. You're paying for the advanced formulations, the massive global research backing it up, and that incredibly valuable personalized consultation you get at the salon. This brings us to the third P, place. And the crucial point here is selective distribution. You are absolutely not going to find Kérastase in your local supermarket. They strictly limit their availability to premium salons, authorized partner salons, their own website, and a few select luxury e-commerce platforms. By artificially limiting where you can actually buy it, they perfectly preserve that high-end VIP club vibe. It's a classic scarcity tactic, ensuring the brand stays incredibly aspirational. So how do they promote all of this? They rely on a deeply integrated strategy. First, it starts with in-salon hair diagnostics and demonstrations that actively guide the consumer. Then, they completely bypass those mass-market vloggers to collaborate specifically with luxury beauty influencers and high-end celebrity hairstylists. And finally, they lock in that customer loyalty with premium digital storytelling.
They go all in on luxury visual branding, virtual hair diagnosis tools, and slick educational content on platforms like Instagram and YouTube to keep their affluent audience hooked.
Okay, on to Section 4, analyzing strengths and weaknesses.
Looking at their internal battlefield, they've got some massive strengths. They wield a super strong global luxury image, backed by the enormous resources of the L'Oréal Group. They boast top-tier professional formulations and a rock-solid salon network. But on the flip side, their weaknesses are basically baked right into their own business model. That premium pricing inherently limits mass market adoption. Because they are trading high volume for high margins, they're completely dependent on a much smaller, highly concentrated customer base. Now, looking externally at the broader market, the opportunities in India are just huge right now. You've got a rapidly growing luxury beauty market, rising disposable incomes, and a major spike in consumer awareness around scalp health. Plus, premium e-commerce is absolutely booming. But it's not all smooth sailing. They are constantly fending off the dark side of online retail, sophisticated counterfeit products. Add to that the constant threat of economic slowdowns, which always hit luxury spending first, and the rapid rise of nimble, direct-to-consumer premium brands trying to steal their market share.
That leads us perfectly to Section 5, the competitive landscape. Because Kérastase definitely does not exist in a vacuum. They are facing fierce competition from some real heavyweights. We're talking brands like Olaplex, famous for their bond-building tech, Moroccan Schwarzkopf Professional, Wella, and Davines. Heck, even within their own parent company, they compete with L'Oréal Professional. In this super crowded field of high-performance products, Kerastase's exclusive salon partnerships and that personalized diagnostic approach become the critical differentiating armor. It's the whole reason they can justify sitting at the absolute top of the pricing tier. Finally, let's wrap up with Section 6, keys to future success. To keep this growth engine running, Kerastase executives have some massive hurdles to clear. First step is geography. How on earth do they penetrate beyond major cities when they rely so heavily on premium salons that just don't exist in smaller markets? Second, they've got to aggressively fight off counterfeits online to protect their brand equity. And third, they need to tackle a huge shift in consumer behavior. Today's luxury buyer is increasingly demanding natural and sustainable products, which forces legacy science-backed brands to completely adapt their messaging and formulations. So, what's the winning formula here? Essentially, they have to lean even harder into exactly what makes them unique. They need continuous product innovation and research-driven formulations. They've got to double down on those personalized in-salon consultations that give you an experience you just can't get from an online purchase. And lastly, they need to leverage premium digital engagement to keep their edge and tell that luxury story directly to the consumer.
Which leaves us with this final thought for today's explainer. As India's luxury market expands at breakneck speed and consumer wealth continues to rise, can Kerastase successfully scale up and capture that new wealth without ever dropping that velvet rope? Can they actually grow bigger while still feeling completely exclusive? It is a fascinating tightrope walk and definitely one we'll be watching closely. Thanks for joining me today, and keep exploring.